From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us on OpenLine. I'm Aundrea Cline-Thomas, filling in for Ben Hall today. I know summer vacation just started for students, but it's not too early for families to start thinking about how to prepare for the next school year, specifically for Metro school families. So we are here with some Metro Schools employees. Becky Hampton is joining us here. She's with Data Quality and Integrity Coordinator. It's a mouthful.
It is.
And we'll talk about what that means. And Alison McArthur with the Community Achieves program. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. And I know, again, I said that students are out, they're having fun, they're hanging out for summer vacation. It's not summer vacation for you guys at all, huh?
No.
You know, tell me about what your jobs entail, especially during this time of year.
Summer is actually our busiest time because we're closing out one school year, but we're already starting the next school year. We have enrollment already kicking off. We're open 12 months, so if parents want to come early and avoid lines, the enrollment centers are open 7 to 4, and we're waiting for them to come. If they could come in June, they actually get a free backpack.
Oh, there we go. That's an incentive. That's a great incentive. All right, and how about you, Alison?
Okay, so for me, we are closing out the year with our Community Achieve schools. We have collected all their information on programs and services. We have put together data snapshots, and so school teams are coming together, doing plans for next year. What does their school improvement plan look like? Where do they need support from the community? And so they'll have their plans ready when they start in August.
And if you at home have a lot of questions about how to enroll, where to go, what do you need to bring to make this a smooth process, this is a show for you. We want you to call in with your questions so we can go ahead and get that answered. So again, it can be an easy process. Let me give you that phone number, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587 is the number. Come on and call us, and hopefully we can go ahead and answer your questions. Let's talk about these enrollment centers. What does that mean?
The enrollment centers are set up at our 12 zoned high schools with the exception of the Pearl Cone cluster, and that cluster meets at the McKissick Middle School. You can bring all tier levels, so kindergarten through 12th, one spot. You don't have to visit each school for enrollment. We do encourage you to visit the schools to meet the staff there and everything, but you can come one spot to do all the enrollment.
And so who needs to enroll? So if you're already in Metro schools, your kids already are going to schools, do you need to then show up there?
No, only students who will be moving over the summer and will transfer to a new zone, or students who are moving into the district brand new, never been here before.
Okay. And so then what do you bring when you come?
Everyone needs a proof of residence, so a lease or a mortgage and a utility bill and a parent guardian photo ID. Something that shows us that you have guardianship of that child. Then if you are brand new to the district, we need your immunization sheet and a current physical within the last 12 months.
And let's talk about immunizations. We do stories every year in August, kind of the countdown of you have to get your shots or else you're going to, you know, the kids have to stay home from school if it goes too long and they don't have their shots.
Right. The big push will be 7th grade because you kind of come in kindergarten and you get your shots and then you go through, but 7th grade there are new immunizations that every single 7th grader has to have.
Okay, so that's the key age. So it's best to get in the public health department. You can get your shots there. I'm not sure if you have to pay anything or if it's no cost or.
I think it depends on your insurance.
I think it's a sliding scale there. Then okay, let's talk about the Community Achieves program. Okay. What does that mean? We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
So what is that?
So Community Achieves is our district-led community school initiative, and so when we say community school, we want to have services for students and families that may be health services, social services, mental health, classes for adults, things like that to improve the conditions for learning.
So it's about taking care of the whole child is what I always hear, is taking care of the whole child. And so tell me about the idea behind that. So if you help the family, you're helping the kid. Tell me about kind of that.
So the family, yes. So maybe that might be English classes in some of our clusters, or it might be GED classes, or some schools had a career fair. They helped parents with their resume, helping them get a job, and then with also helping students. Not every student enters school on an equal playing field. And so some of them may need mental health support. Some of them need standard school attire. Some of them need, health care, things like that.
So where will there be new locations then?
Yes. So last year we were in 14 schools. We started planning this initiative in 2012, learned a lot of lessons. So we will be in 20 schools. Do you want me to run down the list?
Sure.
Okay, so let's go through. Last year we were in Antioch High School, Bailey Middle, Buena Vista, Cole, IT Cresswell, DuPont Hadley, Glencliff High School, Graymar, Hunters Lane, Maplewood, Margaret Allen, McKissick, Napier, and Pearl-Cohn. This year we're adding Englewood, Jerry Baxter, Jolton Middle, Madison Middle, Tusculum, and Whitsett.
Okay.
And I'll say, so we were in 14 schools, but only 6 of those schools had a person coordinating 100% of the time. And what we were able to see is when you took a school that had a person coordinating 100% of the time and then part-time, whatever that looked like, there were so many more programs and services aligned for students and families. And so this year there's funding in the budget to fund positions. So there will be a person at all 20 sites to help coordinate programs and services.
That's a big deal.
It is.
I mean, because a lot of the conversation when it's talking about the budget, when it's talking about the school board and what their pitch to city council has been, we need more than just teachers and principals in the school. We need to help students on a broader level.
Right.
And does this include like the social workers and aspects like that? Does that include it?
So every school, so Community Chiefs lives in support services. And so support services is school security, student health, cluster support teams, which include family involvement specialists, community outreach specialists, and social workers. Discipline falls under support services. The HERO, which is the Homeless Education Act, Safe and Supportive Schools, the Office of Extended Learning, Athletics, Family and Community Partnerships. So all schools have access to that, but schools still tell us it's not enough. When you have a team and they're serving an entire cluster, that's a lot of schools. And so some schools need more. And so it's the vision of those principals to really serve the whole child in the community, and so they want one person just to them to help with that coordination.
And even with that one person in the school, they're going to have a lot of work to do just in that one school alone.
Yes.
And you said that this has been going on since 2012. What types of things have you seen in the schools that have kind of been the pilot schools?
So we started in 2012 building this model. We pulled together an oversight committee with a lot of Metro Nashville Public Schools, Metro government, local nonprofits, so that they could help us drive what does this need to look like, what problems do we see in the community. And so we really spent a lot of time, how can we evaluate it? How do we know if it's working? So we spent a lot of time building it, and so one of the glaring differences was when you had a coordinator versus not having a coordinator. If you're really going to provide those supports, there needs to be a person there. The official title is actually a site manager.
But what happens inside the schools, and can you measure it? Because I know we know that it's kind of like a common sense great thing to do, but how do you know it goes beyond a feel-good type of thing to something that actually makes a difference?
So we look, the schools when they're planning this summer, they've got a packet, it's about 65 pages. We hired an external evaluator, and so they look at data around parent and family engagement, college and career readiness, because at the end of the day that's what it's about, is students performing academically, health and wellness, and social services. And so we pulled everything that we could around those 4 areas. And so schools look at their school improvement plan. They have reading goals and math goals and culture goals and achievement gap goals and family and community partnership goals within their school improvement plan. So if we're bringing all of these people to the table, how can we all work together to meet those goals of the school improvement plan? One thing that we've started doing, working on results-focused partnerships. So if you have a mentoring program in our school and you work with 15 kids, we can put those kids in our student management system, and we can look at how are they performing academically, what does their discipline look like, and what does their attendance look like. And so if we share that information with you, hopefully you can help have an impact. So you're actually working hand in hand with us.
All right. We're going to talk more about how that program works, how students can get prepared, how parents can help students get prepared for the beginning of the school year. Again, we know it's summertime, but it's never too early, and really, time's ticking. It'll be here before you know it.
Yes.
That's right.
Let me give you that number again, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Call in with all your questions. We're going to go to break, and we'll be right back.